Welcome back to Balance While Blooming. My name is Bridget. I'm 25 years old and I share all things budgeting, planning, balancing your life. I'm just becoming the person that you've always wanted to be. Now, finances is just one category that we go into at Balance While Blooming. We share all of the ways that you get the things that you want and you need. So you need to know your income. You need to have your needs, which are your bills, expenses, paying off your debt, saving money, and then also still figuring out the time, the money, and the opportunity where you can spend and live the life that you want currently right now. And that's the balance that we try to do. We'll see a few different changes. We have utilities and we have home on our bills and expenses, and everything else stays the same. We fill in where we're going to save, where we're going to spend, and the debt that we currently have. Luckily for us, we only have one area of debt, but unfortunately, I have a few updates in this month, so just be on the lookout of kind of where our money's going to go this month. It's going to be a tight month, and we will see. We zero-based budget, which means we take all of our income and separate it between all of our categories to make it zero. So all of our money that we expect to come in will be budgeted somewhere. We do have a rollover this month, which is great. So a little bit of extra income than what we expect to do. And from there, we will jump right in to our April budget. So of course, we are talking all things April. So what does April budget mean for us? April is March 26th through April 25th. And that is our whole month of April. Now, for our income, we are going to jump right into income. We have two incomes. We are a dual income family with my husband, who gets paid weekly, and I get paid bi-weekly. Just due to the February 29th paycheck, we will have 5 paychecks for him, so we will have his 5th paycheck this budget. Now, this is going to land on the 26th of April, but we are rolling that over into this month. We have tenants, so we have rent. We'll have some back rent this month, which is awesome. Will help with the budget. And then we have our rollover from last month. Check out our budget with me closeouts. So every single month for the last few months, we've been doing closeouts, which shows you the actual numbers. We do round those as well, but it gets you close to the number, and then you get to see all of our expenses as well. So rollover was $1,200. We are counting 1,000. Our back rent, we should have about $600. Our tenants pay $1,400. And then let's break down how we separate ours. So I'm salary, I make about $1,650 bi-weekly. So we put $1,550 in here just to be on the lower side. So that's $1,550 for my 2 paychecks this month. Now, my husband is $350 each week. He typically makes more than that now that he's gotten a raise, but of course, as I said, we tried to go on the lower side and be able to have a rollover or be able to put more towards our debt or our bills or expenses as they come in. Knowing that we have budgeted on the low end keeps us within a budget that we feel comfortable doing. If we need to spend a little bit more, we know we have a buffer. That's just for us, as we do it as we are mid-income and have to do that. So let's figure out exactly what our income is this month. Of course, you add up all of your streams of income, all of that all together will bring you to your total that you have to work with everything else that is on your budget. Okay, so not the best month for us, but also not terrible. We have $7,850. Now, this is our total. To get this to zero, all of your bills and expenses, your debts, and your sinking and spending funds all need to work into being $7,850. So going right into our bills and expenses. This month, as you can see, we added home. What does home mean? Anything for our house that we help our landlord with. We also, if you saw our closeout, are changing this from electricity to utilities. We came up with a number that we agreed to here. So every month you will see $500 here. And that will be our utility bill on top of our rent, just because of the way the economy is, bills, all of that. We are the ones using the utilities. She does not make us pay for all of our utilities, so it's a nice even number. So, of course, let's talk about what all these numbers are, where we're gonna end up. Now, we used to end up, just for fair warning, around $3,000 to $4,000. You will see this month that we are spending a little bit higher than we want because of these new bills and expenses and a few things that we want to pay ahead on if possible. So some of these will vary. Now, of course, our rent never varies. That's $1,400. And of course, our utilities is now $500. So those will never vary. Now, for internet, same with that. We always pay $115. Phone bill is $35. Our gym is $52. Then everything else is random, as month to month it kind of varies. Now, water we get quarterly. We do have a water bill this month. It should be less than $100, so we're gonna budget $100 there. Our groceries will always vary as well. We do plan on eating in a lot this month, so we have $908. That just equals this out to a round number for us. That $900 counts as all of our toiletries, paper towels, all of those things on top of being my husband, my stepson, and then we have my mother-in-law, my brother-in-law, and his girlfriend that we all buy household stuff for. Gas this month, we hope to stay under $300. That's pretty much what we do every single month. Health insurance, we don't know when I will be transferring 100% to my husband's health insurance, so this may go away if it goes active. If not, I want to get a few months ahead, and we have a few bills to pay for health reasons, so it's not all health insurance, it's all just health bills in general. Subscriptions this month, we only have $70. And then our home, we have a bill that comes in every single year to deal with termites and everything like that, and we do help our landlord with that to keep that service going. If you're new here, the landlord's my mom, so we help pay for a lot of things, and she's not living with us. So let's add up our bills and expenses. Okay, so as I said, we did expect this to be a little bit higher with all these new numbers and with our home, our water being this quarter. So we do have on the higher end $4,530, and that does mean we need to cut back in other areas. $4,530. We are about $530 over, but as I said, that health insurance, we may not need to pay all of that. We may only have to pay the few bills that are coming in. We will figure that out as time goes on. But let's talk about our debt and how we are going to save and spend this month and round this budget out. Now that we have the first part of our needs, we also need to figure out our debt. When we talk about our budget, debt can mean anything that is a debt, school loans, car bills, anything of that matter. Now, I am going to tell you guys that I'm going to talk more about it on our April reset. That's why this is going out first. I have so much to tell you guys, but for basically the rest of 2024, our goal is to get a few things that we didn't know my husband had in collections. How do we figure that out? Unfortunately, we were looking at loans, anything that we could do to start working on the process of buying our home. What do we need to do? How do we get our credit up? All of those things. And we found out a few things were in collections since before we started dating. So we will have more debt in there, but we do need to pay it in whole. So we are going to put that in our sinking funds, and it's a necessity of our savings. The savings will now be not just an emergency fund, it will be saving as quickly as possible and pulling some from our leftover nest egg as soon as possible. We hope to have that debt cleared out in about 3 months, and you'll see, because big numbers are going to be moving over here, and when we get to that and talk about it, we can do that. But we are in the process of either buying this home, buying our dream home. We have no idea. We think we're going to buy the home that we are currently living in. We will be third generations here. There's just so many projects, so many things to talk about, and money and finances when it comes to family is very difficult. But that doesn't mean that we don't have other bills and debt to pay for. So we do have a current car loan that we owe on, and we pay $320 into that every single month. It gets pulled bi-weekly, and that is what we pay. So we will not be paying any more to principal. We will not be doing anything else. If you guys did see our closeout, we did put this down very low, and then under $4,000, then we got the news that we couldn't put any more money. We needed to save to close out a few things that are in collections, and that's okay. You figure out stuff, you adjust where you're going, and your finances are going to shift, and that's okay. Now, with that being said, we need to talk about what we need to save. Let's figure out what we have left to talk about our savings and spending. Of course, you are still going to spend. You are still going to go out to eat every once in a while. You are still going to live your life. You just need to figure out how to budget that in, and figuring out exactly what you can spend and what you need to save to be able to afford the life that you need. So, that being said, let's figure out what we have left of this $7,850 with these two taken away. So you take your income minus your bills and expenses minus your debt, and you have $3,000. So we have $3,000 to break down. That $3,000 is your spending and your saving together. Now, I will be honest with you, we are going to have another tight spending month. So we have his, hers, fam, and then we have dine out, other, and miscellaneous. Now, these two are kind of things that we either get at convenience stores, that we do for ourselves, for our hobbies. Anything like that is his, hers, or anything that we do as a family, the three of us. And then dine out, other, and miscellaneous are going to go together. We really want to see where we're kind of putting money that isn't family time, that is a little bit different, that we can budget in, right? This will be collections. I hate saying that. Collections, savings. Realistically, I would like to save about $2,000 a month to be able to pay off that debt as soon as possible. So we need this number to be $2,000. And that leaves us obviously $1,000, because we have a total of $3,000. So that means between his, hers, fam, dine out, and other miscellaneous, we need it to be $1,000 here. That means $500 here and $500 here to bring you to that grand total. Now let's just make sure that these numbers add up to your income. So this comes out to 0, and what you need to do is focus on where you need your money to go, what your needs are, and what your wants are. And all of that brought together is going to have to be within your income. If your income does not suffice, unfortunately, you will have to either find a way to make more money or just learn how to budget a little bit differently, change your lifestyle a little, how much you go out, how much you can save, where your living expenses are too high, where you're putting your money. Now, of course, we want to always have more and have a positive at the end of the month, but that depends on how it all breaks down. Now, come back at the end of the month to see our actual numbers, where we sit at the end of this. This is a low income month for us, but of course, we have a higher expenses. We have more savings to do, and things change from month to month. Know that that's part of your balancing journey. Finances, time, your energy, all of those things come together. So make sure that you are figuring out your budget, figuring out where your money is going and where you need to go, and keep balancing your life and what you want to do. Don't forget about your hobbies, the things that you want in life, including going out to dinner. Make that shift where you may not do it as much, but you still do it, and bloom into the person that you want to become, that person of your dreams. And we can all get ahead on our financial journey one step at a time. Keep balancing, keep blooming, and I will see you guys soon. Bye, guys.